He's lost it.
Intense.
Screw it all. Screw the revenge shit. Screw the rival shit. Screw the brother shit. Anything that ties me down makes me sick to my stomach. I'll kill them all.
If you haven't seen this anime, it is by far one of my most favorite animes. Instant, at this point, to me, it's an instant cult classic. And in fact, I think it's a prerequisite. It is a required reading, fellas. It is a requirement to watch this show as a man. It showcases perfectly the competition between us and what's needed. They even personify, they characterize, they give it a personality, the coach. You need ego. You need it. Us men need, at this day and age, self-delusional, elite forms of narcissism at this point. To have any dent, to have any effect, and to make put your mark on the world. Right? Even if you look at humility and being humble, this hasn't gotten me anywhere. In relationships, in business, that stuff gets me nowhere, man. Now I do think there's a touch of it. It's almost like being in touch with your feminine, which at this point you could just play that out. I think that was effective maybe a couple of decades ago, but not now, not today. We're all already been flatlined by society, by modernity. The testosterone level is going down, right? What we're necessarily having to do for ourselves now is increase back our testosterone. But you need elite forms of narcissism, of egoism. Even the word humble, it has that root word humus, which is of the earth. It's feminine, unsophisticated. It's kind of interesting to think about that. I think where it really belongs is in perhaps your journal gratitude exercises. And after that, leave that shit behind and go back to that self-delusional version of narcissism. To me, it's Rin's journey is the best part of the anime show. It's Rin's journey. Igasaki is kind of cool, right? Like, you do root for him, you want him to evolve. More or less because he has this straight line narrative, right? More can relate to him. But Rin's journey is that of betrayal, is that of drama, right? He feels betrayed by his brother. He feels like he's living in the shadow of his bigger brother. He'll never live up to that. And his bigger brother is that much better than him. And he shows it over time and time again. And what I love about Rin's evolution is that like at first it is revenge. It is that those narratives, his whole narrative with soccer, the game totality with his brother and being better than everyone and all this other shit. It is all those subtle narratives around him that propels him to be as great as he was. But then he finds out that even that's still not enough. And I've considered this to be, in part of Nietzsche's critique on Hamlet. But he mentions it here. Understanding kills action. Action depends on a veil of illusion. This is what Hamlet teaches us. Not the stock interpretation of Hamlet as a John of Dreams who, from too much reflection, from an excess of possibilities, so to speak, fails to act. Not reflection, not that. True understanding, insight into the terrible truth, outweighs every motive for action, for Hamlet and Dionysiac man alike. When the Dionysius man sees into the nature of things, he can get paralyzed by too much truth, by seeing too much into the nature of reality, and realizes that you can despair in your ineffectiveness. At the end of the day, nothing really happens. It doesn't make any difference. And what I love is what Rin does next. He even says it out loud. But his thought process is just, it's elite, bro. It's perfect. He just lasers in on the game, locks in. It's just about winning. And he says it himself, fuck revenge, right? Fuck all the brother narratives, which is even his own teammates. Fuck all that shit. I'm going to win this shit I will I will dominate this game. But I just real quick though, his story with his brother, that essentially was that's the axiom that pinned his whole motive down. And even his brother mentions it too. Would you even be here if I didn't play soccer? And that was really important. He was holding himself back. And to me, that is that Faustian part about him. He was holding himself back by his belief in another. He needed his brother to have that belief. And it wasn't until he said, fuck that shit. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for the love of my game, the love of destroying everyone else's game. Then that's what got him over the hump, right? It wasn't ego in the form of like that colored individuality. It was ego in that level of just unwavering, godlike faith in narcissism to the Most High, in just himself and the game and nothing else. Beautiful, beautiful form of that, of showing that evolution, because it is like that for most of those guys. I saw that even me and myself when it comes to breakups. At first the motivation, I want to get back. I want to be better. I want to evolve. I'm going to prove her wrong. And then later on, that quickly falters. That doesn't sustain you. And then you relocate that motive to something crazy, to the point where it's just like, I don't give a crap if I'm going to look like a fool. I don't give a crap if I'm going to look like an idiot. I need to do this shit. And this is how part of me just continuing this crap. You need ego. So let me know what you think you saw that. Maybe you got a different message altogether from that show, but to me, that was basically tapping into that instinct, that beautiful instinct in us men, and that I only really get to express in sports, especially combat sports like basketball, and perhaps in the gym at times. But everywhere else, I have to figure out how to transmutate that, like all that, into some sort of craft and some sort of artistic endeavor, because we're modern men. We're not really. It's kind of like not needed anymore. We're not brutes. We're not savages out here. So let me know what you think if you like that show. Deuces.
The best you can do is live in the shadow of your brother. We're half-baked. So quit. Don't use me as an excuse to play soccer.
I think I understand what he was trying to tell me that day. There was more than cruelty behind those words. The half-baked one. The one who makes me want to puke. The one who needs to be destroyed. It was me all along. Little brother of a genius. Partner. Rival. I'm so sick of all these convenient labels. They have no place in my life. I don't need them. I'm not something to any of you. Saitoshi's little brother. I'm done with that. I'll believe in this indignation in my heart. I'll give in to these destructive thoughts. I am me. I'm the egoist.